Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to get you thinking, maybe questioning some fundamental ideas about value and power.
Absolutely. We're looking at some material that puts forward a pretty provocative argument. Money isn't real, power is.
Right. And it links this idea directly to masculinity as, well, the driving force behind how the world developed.
Yeah, the sources suggest that true worth isn't just about your bank account. It's more about, skill, leadership, strength, qualities historically associated with men.
So our mission here is to unpack that argument. We want to understand this claim about real value, the role masculinity supposedly played in history, and also these criticisms about modern men perhaps being weaker.
Let's jump right in.
Okay, so first up, this idea that money is just an illusion.
Well, yeah, the text draws a sharp line. It argues that fiat money, the stuff we use every day, doesn't really have intrinsic value.
Because governments can just print more, make it worth less through inflation.
Exactly. It's subject to control. And the text contrasts this starkly with what it calls true wealth.
Which is what, exactly?
Think tangible things. Land, resources, actual knowledge like how to build something, even physical power, and crucially, influence over others.
Okay, so real assets.
Right. Things that underpin society, regardless of what the dollar is doing.
And the argument connects this directly to masculine traits.
It does. It suggests that the drive to build, to protect, to lead these traditionally masculine impulses are what actually create and safeguard this real value.
It's about the action these traits inspire.
Precisely. And if you look back historically, the material argues that history was essentially written by strong men.
Meaning warriors, kings.
Yes, but also engineers, explorers, people who took initiative and shouldered responsibility. The text credits them with setting up laws, building cities, establishing economies.
It sounds like it emphasizes pressure and responsibility as key masculine roles in civilization building.
Very much so. And it brings up testosterone as a key biological driver for this.
Okay. How so?
It links testosterone to things like competitiveness, risk-taking, assertiveness, portraying these as essential for pushing civilization forward, sort of a biological engine for progress.
Got it. Now, let's shift to the present day. The critique of modern men seems quite harsh.
It is direct, yeah. The argument is that men today are generally weaker. It points to things like processed foods, less physical activity.
And it mentions mental slavery. What's that about?
It seems to mean a lack of independent thought, maybe getting caught up in groupthink or lacking a strong sense of purpose, influenced heavily by, say, algorithms or social pressures.
So things like addictive tech, social media, even cancel culture are seen as contributing factors.
That's the claim, that these things erode purpose and pride.
And there's a concern that masculinity itself is being demonized.
Yes, that boys are discouraged from being, quote, too manly, and that this energy is seen negatively.
Okay, so despite this critique, the text still sees a vital role for masculinity today.
Definitely. It argues strongly that men, particularly those with high testosterone, according to the source, are essential.
For what, specifically?
For solving tough problems, leading teams effectively, protecting the vulnerable. It frames these as crucial functions.
And also for taking risks, like in business or innovation.
Exactly. Taking risks, building wealth, creating jobs, and even standing up to tyranny or injustice. These are presented as necessary masculine contributions.
So the ultimate takeaway from the source seems to be
that the world needs real men, defined here as having strong minds and bodies more than ever to deal with modern challenges.
Right. So wrapping this up, the core argument we've explored is that maybe focusing just on money has made us lose sight of what really drives progress and value.
And that these drivers, according to this perspective, are fundamentally linked to traits associated with masculinity and a type of power that isn't just financial.
Certainly gives you something to think about.
It does. So the question for you listening is, if you entertain this idea, even just hypothetically, that money isn't real, power is, how does that shift your view of what holds genuine value in the world, and what could that mean for the future?